Hi there, folders. With me for this session on cut points, which I know everyone's very interested in, is Paul Dunn and Bertro.
Okay, so I'm going to start, and this is going to look a lot like session 1. And so I'm going to freeze all the sheets, and I work in the original interface almost exclusively. And over here, I'm going to get rid of the and I'm going to extend this sheet and freeze it. And then for here, I'm going to make a cut here and then move, say, move this. I guess I can blow that up more now. Did I cut it in the wrong spot? No. Oh, I did cut it in the wrong spot. Sorry. No, that's where I wanted to cut it. Right. Let's see. Nope, I wanted to cut it up here. Okay. I'm going to cut it here. Oh, yeah, okay. And I'm going to work first on this section here. Whoops. And line this up. Okay, and then I want to line it up so that the zigzags line up. And this particular time I'm going to, now, okay, just to show my view settings, the score hydro, I don't show any, at this point I won't show any side chains, and relative scoring will be on. And my behavior, well, I'm not going to need it right away, is going to be 0.01, way down. Okay, and I turn off the enable cut bands, and I always use less precise wiggle. Okay, and then I'm going to rebuild. Of course, this time it rebuilt on the opposite side. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to drag it so it's someplace approximately where I want it. Well, I'm going to use, I'm going to actually rebuild it to do that. Okay, and then I'm happy with that, and I'm going to freeze that. And basically, you just keep on doing the same thing. So in this case, though, you're going to have to, and I should get this, you're going to flip it, and okay, so that's pretty close for now. And then I would do the same thing over on this side. So I'm going to skip. And when you're done, you basically have lined them up. Okay, at any time you can start looking at your hydros, and if you wanted to make a change, you could flip one of these. Whoops, I didn't do a very good lineup. There we go. Can minimize how much you have to move it if you line it up correct. Okay, you could do that and then make some changes. I'm going to go back to that. Okay. Let's see. And like everybody else said, we're going to ignore the score for quite a while now. Okay, I've done that. Good. Okay, so I showed you how you can rearrange these. You can move each of these parts around on either side fairly easily. So that makes it very simple to change the order of your sheets, change which side your helices are on, and make other changes. And I'll show later that even after I'm done, you can still make changes after I've closed the cut points. Okay. Okay, so I've shown that. I'm going to skip on to the second section. And basically what I've done, I could have done that by hand, but I go and I band sheets together. Okay, and I've banded the cut points together. Okay, my enable cut bands is still off. Okay, and now I go, let me turn the, don't think I did, turn that off. And now you go and close your cut points, and you do it either by the pull, you can use the pull tool, or you can use the rebuild tool. Those are the two that I would use. Okay, and you can pull on either side. Whoops. Okay, whoops, I had it. Some of these can be picky, and I go through and I close them all. And I'm not too worried yet what they look like. If we look at them, they're going to have extremely bad backbone scores. Okay, when you close them, and what I've done differently than some of the other people is how I initially improve that score. So okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to move right on to where I've done that. I only really have one more, but okay, and I've closed them all. And again, you see that you have extremely poor backbone scores, way down negative 60,000. And this is where my technique works a little different than other people's as far as closing some of these, fixing the backbone scores. You can just rebuild these. If they're long, it could take a while to get a good rebuild. And what I do is again, let me get this, whoops, keep on hitting the wrong one, behavioral score up. I'm going to cut, and I'm going to, whoops, wrong cut. You cut on basically, in the original interface, you cut on the lower segment number. So this is segment 11 and 12, and if you do, you see there's red on either side. I'm going to wiggle here, and even at point 1, this one's doing better than it did before. It may tend to explode depending on which cut I'm doing. So if that happens, which it did this time, there's two techniques I use to keep it from exploding too much. One is to freeze the other loops. So basically the only things that can move are the loops that I'm working on and what it's attached to. Okay, and I don't know if I want a zero length bands from Brow, I believe. And you can band the sheets, zero band the sheets and the helices, okay, so they can't move, and then you can wiggle. So in this particular case, let me show that right now, zero length bands.